this bill seeks to amend is a 2006 one, at the time when we did not have the new constitution, and some of the reasons as to why this bill is coming up is also to be able to align it to the Constitution of Kenya 2010. And this include giving mandate to the Cabinet Secretary responsible for education to establish programs to safeguard, protect and promote the right to education of victims of sexual offences, including victims of teenage pregnancies. You understand that teenage pregnancies is quite a big issue or a concern in Kenya. However, this bill seeks to amend that Act, the 2006, to be able to provide for promotion of national public awareness of sexual offences. And also, this bill will also be able to define the functions that the Cabinet Secretary, or responsibilities that the Cabinet Secretaries, after aligning this particular Act to the Constitution, will be handling, including establish programs to safeguard, protect and promote the right to education of victims of sexual offences, including victims of teenage pregnancies. The Sexual Offences Bill, you understand that it is an important bill in Kenya, or an important act in Kenya for several key reasons, including legal, social and human rights. When you look at the sexual violence that might amount to offences, include rape, defilement, sexual harassment and exploitation, which has been a serious concern in Kenya, and also a strong sexual offence, thereby making this particular bill important to provide for laws that would protect the victims and also define sexual crimes clearly, protect women, men and children, and also to be able to ensure that victims have legal protection and access to justice. A case in point could include the enactment of this particular act, which sought to close legal gaps and offer strong safeguards. So this particular bill comes at a time when the country has seen raising concerns or increasing concerns over sexual offences that are happening to vulnerable groups, including children. And therefore, this is a bill that will be able to put in place measures that will be able to create awareness and also seal any loopholes that there may be. This particular bill also touches on matters regarding teenage pregnancies. Teenage pregnancy has also been a major social and health and legal concern, and it closely relates to the importance of strong sexual offences laws that protect the children, or that also align with the child protection policies. Many of the teenage pregnancies may have been connected to the lack of the right to, or poverty, some of those concerns, and also enhancement of the existing laws. And you will agree with me that this particular bill comes at a time when the country needs to tame the teenage pregnancies in the country. That is the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Gladys Boss, has made her way into the chamber to preside over this morning's sitting. Allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast brought to you by PBU in partnership with KBC. Good morning.
Honorable members, let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold us with your abundant favor, as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our church. Amen. Sergeant at Arms, you may ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
The prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, there is a quorum hitch. The Speaker has directed that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes. This is as provided for in the House Standing Order number 34. This is, of course, to give room to the members to be able to make their way into the chamber and enable the House attain that much needed quorum for it to be able to commence. This is the quorum that is needed at the commencement of the House. As we wait for that quorum to be attained and hand you over back to the business of the day, we shall continue to take a look at that which the members shall be transacting this morning as they convene. Earlier on, I had indicated to you that the Sexual Offences Amendment Bill, sponsored by the Honourable Member for Kisii County, Honourable Doris Donya, debate on it has been done conclusively and comprehensively, and this morning the stage at which this bill has reached is that the question is to be put for it to be read a second time and be able to move into the next stage. Just a recap of what the bill seeks to achieve is that it is a bill that seeks to amend the Sexual Offences Act 2006, a bill or an act that was put in place and has been in place until the time when we got the new constitution. So, of course, some of the details in this particular bill seek to align this act to the new constitution. So it is a bill that seeks to provide for promotion of national public awareness of sexual offences and also be able to mandate the Cabinet Secretary responsible for education to establish programs to safeguard, protect, and also promote the right to education of victims of sexual offences, including victims of teenage pregnancies. Earlier on, we took a deeper look at the concerns around the teenage pregnancies that have been raised in the country, as well as the sexual violences that have been meted on vulnerable groups, and the loopholes that are there in law and the lack of even particular enforcement of already existing laws. So this bill comes at a time that the country needs to address those concerns countrywide. If you're just joining us, that the House is about to commence its sitting. Members of the National Assembly continue to make their way into the chamber, and we shall continue to take a look at the business that they will be transacting. The Teacher Service Commission Amendment Bill, a bill originating... The Speaker is addressing the House. Well, we shall continue to take a look at the business that they will be transacting this morning. Is that the Teacher Service Commission Amendment Bill, a bill originating from the National Assembly Bill number 27 of 2024, a bill sponsored by Honorable Abdul Haro, is coming up for a debate. This will be resumption of a debate that was interrupted on the February 18th, the year 2026, during the morning sitting. There is a balance of 2 hours and 21 minutes for the members who would wish to ventilate on this particular bill to be able to weigh in on it. And this is a bill that will be making amendments to the Teacher Service Commission number 20 of 2012 in order to be able to provide for various allowances that the commission may pay to teachers over and above their basic pay. And the bill also seeks to entrench fairness in acting positions under the Teacher Service Commission so that the commission confers acting appointments in a structured manner. The bill further provides for predictability and certainty in the management of allowances in the teaching profession. So this is a bill that the members will be picking up its debate regarding concerns around the basic pay of teachers, as well as the positions that the teaching fraternity or members of the teaching fraternity hold to be aligned to the manner in which we'll be able to ensure that the various allowances that the commission may pay to teachers is in line with the law. So this is a bill that the members will be considering this morning, which will be a resumption of a debate. The Universities Amendment Bill number 5 of the National Assembly is also coming up for second reading. A debate on this particular bill has not begun yet. So this morning, as the House convenes, they will be able, the members of the National Assembly will be able to weigh in on the contents of this bill, which is at its second reading stage. It is a bill that is sponsored by the Honorable Major Dong Gadhiru. And this is a bill that seeks to amend the Universities Act 2012, of course, to be able to end the practice of universities offering certificate and diploma courses. The quorum has been attained. Allow me to hand you over to this business. Good morning. All right, the House is about to start its business. Just allow me to continue to brief you on the contents of what the members will be looking at this morning. Earlier on, I had mentioned about the commencement of second reading of the Universities Amendment Bill. Debate on it is lined up to begin this morning. And this is a bill that seeks to end that seeks to amend the Universities Act 2012 to be able to end the practice of universities offering certificate and diploma courses. And the reason behind this is that currently there are two bodies certifying certificate and diploma courses. You understand that there is the Technical and the Vocational Education and Training Authority for technical and vocational colleges, and also the Commission for University Education for the university. And the sponsor of this particular bill argues his point on that this leads to inconsistencies in the content and duration of the courses. If you look at...
begin first order.
All right.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions.
Honorable Dawood, before you read out your petition, allow me. Honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence of the following schools who are seated in the speaker's gallery, and the schools should rise when they are being recognized. Sergeant at Arms, they're supposed to rise when the schools are being recognized. So we have Migingo Girls School from Nyando constituency, Kisumu County. Then we also have St. Mary's School from Westlands constituency, Nairobi County. On behalf of myself and the substantive speaker and the members of the National Assembly, we welcome you to the House. And Honorable Dawood, you can also further welcome them on our behalf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I welcome the students from the two schools, one from Nyando and the other one from Westlands, St. Mary's and Migingo Girls. To the students, it's not very difficult. It's good that you have come to see how Parliament debates, how it makes laws, and it's not too difficult to get to where we are. You just have to study and keep your focus so that once you're through with your studies, then you can make a stab at elective office, and it's not a bad projector. Can I read my petition?
Yes, you may proceed with your petition.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, regarding non-payment, it's a public petition number 26 of 2025, regarding non-payment of outstanding retirement benefits for the 1997 retired teachers group. I, the undersigned, on behalf of the 1997 retired teachers group comprising of Mr. Samson, Mutema, and 8 others from Nodimenti constituency, draw the attention of the House to the following. 1, that between 1st July 1997 and 31st July 2007, approximately 5,200 teachers retired from the service of Teachers Service Commission, TSC, having been duly registered under the TSC and employed as public servants entitled to pension and retirement benefits. 2, that the said teachers were represented in the Simon P. Kamau and 190 others versus Teachers Service Commission, Nakuru High Court Civil Case number 65 of 2006, which was heard and determined by Honorable Justice David Maraga. The court ruled in favor of the teachers, affirming that the remuneration and benefits arising from the 1997 Taita Arab Towet Commission award applied to all teachers who were in service as of 1st of July 1997. 3, that the Teachers Service Commission appealed the decision at the Court of Appeal but was defeated on 12th November 2010, and the government's subsequent appeal to the Supreme Court in 2013 was similarly dismissed. Further, on 9th of December 2015, the Supreme Court declined an application by the Attorney General seeking review of the Court of Appeal's decision, thereby finalizing the matter in law. 4, that despite the above court rulings being in favor of the petitioners, only one phase of the 5 agreed payment phases was effected, leaving the majority of the retired teachers without the rightful pension arrears and other accrued benefits. 5, that although the government had agreed to pay 44,267 of the retired teachers, an estimated 1,733 remain unaccounted for and have not received any payment to date, despite being part of the court-recognized beneficiaries. 6, that many of the petitioners have since passed on without receiving their rightful dues, while the surviving members, now advanced in age, continue to suffer financial distress, neglect, and denial of justice, contrary to the principles of fair administrative action guaranteed under Article 47 of the Constitution and the right to property under Article 40. That efforts by the petitioners to seek redress through various government departments, including the Teachers Service Commission, the National Treasury, and the Office of the Attorney General have not yielded a conclusive response or full implementation of the court judgment. That the matter herein is of urgent national concern and falls within the legislative oversight of the National Assembly, hence the need for the House to ensure compliance with court decisions and the protection of citizens' lawful entitlements by the government, and that the issues raised in this petition are not pending before any court of law, constitutional body, or any other legal institution. Therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, investigates and establishes the status of implementation of the court decisions regarding payment of retirement benefits to the 1997 retired teachers, recommends for immediate settlement of all outstanding dues and arrears to the affected teachers or their legal representatives, including those unaccounted for in the 1,733 pending cases. Recommends that the Teachers Service Commission and the National Treasury provide a comprehensive report on payments made, beneficiaries, and the remaining unpaid amounts. 4, ensures budgetary allocation is made in the 2026-2027 financial year to fully settle the outstanding pension and gratuity arrears in accordance with the final court rulings. 5, make any other recommendations it deems fit to guarantee justice and closure of this matter for the retired teachers, their families, and dependents. And your petitioners will ever pray, presented by Abdul Rahim Dawood, MP for Nodimenti. This was dated last year, 13th of October. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I hope the chair of the Education Committee or the Education Committee can be seized of this matter together with the public petitions. And Madam Chair, I hope the petition can be sorted out within the 90 days framework, because there is another petition of mine of last year has not been reached. I hope that can be done as well for the Mau Mau fighters. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, before, I think I'll just give two members a chance to give a rider on this. But is the chairperson of the Petitions Committee here or the Education Committee? Because Honorable Dawood, I think the Speaker had made a ruling that if something is of a specific nature, it can be passed to not the Petitions Committee, but to the Education Committee. Honorable Osoro, you want to undertake on behalf of the committee that the
Yes,
petition will be looked at with speed?
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I've been keenly listening to Honorable Rahim, and we commit that the Committee on Petitions, although there is a bit of some turbulence in terms of the structure, even as we
The
plan.
Speaker
of course,
has
to
a
relocate.
discretion to mark it to another.
Exactly, but we will do it
Yes.
in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, Honorable Dorothy Kiara, and then we'll come to you, Honorable Kangogo. Make it brief because it's just a rider.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to really support this petition by Honorable Rahim Dahoudi. Honorable Speaker, the teachers who retire in service are the most patriotic citizens of this country, Honorable Speaker. And it's very disheartening, Honorable Speaker, that teachers who retired in 1997 and they were duly considered for this award that was the award of a CBA that was negotiated and concluded in 1997. Majority of them have since retired. Majority of them, unfortunately, are today in the grave. Honorable Speaker, it is very sad that these citizens, these teachers who have served this country diligently, still are agonizing and waiting to be paid what was due theirs. Honorable Speaker, I want to petition this House and ask the committee concerned to take this matter seriously so that, Honorable Speaker, we can bring this matter to a closure. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kangogo, also briefly.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also say something about the petition. Madam Speaker, from 1997 up to now, you're talking about 29, 30 years. And Madam Speaker, people who retired almost 30 years ago, I don't know even how they are going to benefit from that retirement. And Madam Speaker, the issue raised by the Honorable Dahoud, it is not peculiar only to teachers. It is across the civil service, Madam Speaker. Many civil servants, they retire and they go all the way. Some of them, they die without even enjoying their retirement benefits. So as the committee of petition looks into this matter, Honorable Speaker, they need to extrapolate to come up with a policy, or we need to put a legislation, which I don't think we are lacking that legislation, on pensions and retirement, Honorable Speaker. I know as a House, we have had our own pension. There is a way it is structured and even in some other parastatals. But the people suffering are civil servants. They are teachers, Madam Speaker, which we need to make sure that when, as you give a notice of retirement to a civil servant or a teacher, you must be prepared that within 14 days or 21 days, that person should be able to access his or her benefits, Madam Speaker. So it is not a unique case to teachers. There are many, if you go to the villages, many policemen who have retired, some of them, they have died without even enjoying. So we need to come up with a law or a policy which cuts across. And there is need also to have an integration or digitization which is linking between the central civil service, teachers and all other government with the pension department in Treasury. So that as you retire, your file directly goes to Treasury and in the next subsequent few months, you're enjoying your benefits. I support the petition.
The Honorable Gladys Boss.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I, Gladys Boss-Sholei, on behalf of the residents of Uasin Gishu County, wish to make a petition regarding the production, distribution, and consumption of illegal alcoholic brews in the country. Honorable Speaker, I wish to draw the attention of the House to the following: that the production, distribution, and consumption of illicit alcoholic brews in the country has continued to cause serious public health, social and economic harm, including deaths, disabilities, addiction, family breakdown and poverty, and increased crime. That the Alcoholic Drinks Control Act Cap 121 was enacted in 2010 to regulate the manufacture, the sale, the distribution, and consumption of alcoholic drinks, and to provide for treatment and rehabilitation and enforcement mechanisms. Honorable Speaker, that despite the existence of this law, illicit alcohol trade remains rampant, evidenced by continued deaths, counterfeit alcoholic brands, unlicensed liquor outlets, underage drinking, and widespread adulteration of alcoholic products. That Uasin Gishu County, whom I represent, has been significantly affected by this menace, with recurrent incidents of alcohol poisoning, hospital admissions, and loss of life linked to illicit brews and adulterated second-generation alcohol, particularly among vulnerable communities. That the problem is widespread across the country and has in the past resulted in national tragedies involving toxic brews, such as in the infamous kumekucha, necessitating urgent state intervention. These challenges are largely attributed to the weak, inconsistent implementation of the law, inadequate enforcement capacity, regulatory caps, and limited public awareness. Honorable Speaker, that the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NACADA, is mandated to coordinate alcohol and drug abuse prevention, public education, research, and interagency collaboration. Yet concerns remain regarding the effectiveness of these functions. That there is allegations of insufficient monitoring and oversight of licensed manufacturers and distillers of second-generation alcohol by regulatory agencies, including the Kenya Revenue Authority, the Kenya Bureau of Standards. The absence of a robust quality control system, product traceability, mechanisms, and distribution oversight has allowed unsafe and counterfeit alcohol products to enter the market. That the regulation of alcohol remains inadequate with high local production costs and weak border surveillance. Honorable Speaker, it is known that ethanol, which is the primary base for the use of making of illicit alcohol and second-generation alcohol, is easily available through our borders of Uganda and Tanzania, where the tax per liter is significantly lower, as against Kenya's, which is 300 shillings per liter. In the two other countries, it's 60 shillings per liter and 30 shillings respectively. Also, because one is able to smuggle in 20 liters, as low as 20 liters of ethanol into their homestead and be able to manufacture the alcohol in the absence of any surveillance by the Kenya Bureau of Standards and the Kenya Revenue Authority, is allowing the rampant use of illicit and unsafe alcohol available to our families and our children. It is for this reason that it is important that this Parliament controls the use and transportation of this hazardous product, which is ethanol. Furthermore, ethanol being hazardous and a flammable substance, it should not be transported in small quantities. It must be transported the same way we transport petroleum and other such flammable products, in huge tankers with a minimum of at least several tons at a time. The unregulated production and transportation of ethanol is what is causing the problem, and that is the root cause of problems. And therefore, we need more efforts by relevant institutions to ensure that this is surveilled. That the matters raised in I also want to confirm that the matters raised in this petition are not pending before any court and constitutional body or any other legal institution. Therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, engages the relevant state agencies with a view of the following. 1, investigating the status and implementation of regulations in place to curb the production, distribution, and consumption of alcohol. 2, determining the cause of the rampant production, distribution, and consumption of illegal alcohol in the country. 3, recommending a multi-agency approach to curb the production and distribution and consumption of illegal alcohol. And 4, makes any other recommendations it may deem appropriate to address the plight of the petitioners. And your petitioners shall ever pray, presented by Gladys Boschole, member for Uasin Gishu County. And Honorable Speaker, just as I sit down, allow me again to welcome the schools that are seated in the Speaker's Gallery. Migingo Girls School from Nyando constituency in Kisumu County. I'm particularly fond of seeing girls' schools because I myself is a product of a girls' school. And I know that your future is bright and you're all destined for greatness. To the young men from St. Mary's School, you know that I have a personal and strong affiliation with the school. That are reasons known to myself and a few people who are seated in the gallery. And I want to wish you all the best. And as a Loreto girl who went to Catholic school, I want to assure you that I know that you're in the right hands and your teachers are doing the right things. And I know that you're definitely also destined for greatness. And we look forward to many of you being able to come back one day and serve our country in this very house. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to petition that petition. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Gladys Boss, and also the Deputy Speaker. Honorable members, I can give 2 people to make comments on this petition. And I'll start with the Honorable Charles Ngusianguna.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I have a point of order from the Honorable member. What is out of order?
Migingo Girls.
You have been strategic. You'd like to welcome Migingo?
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Charles Ngusia, you may take a seat. Please do.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I welcome the students from Migingo Girls. Many years ago when I left the university in 1991, that was my first posting. So I was a teacher in Migingo Girls for 2 years before I joined Kenya Power. So I take this opportunity to welcome you to Parliament and wish you the very best in this August House. And I believe one day one of you will have an opportunity to serve this country as a member of Parliament. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Charles Ngusia Nguna.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I'll give only 3 people, honorable members, for the
Speaker.
purpose of progressing with business in the House.
Yes,
Proceed.
Madam Speaker, I would like to support the 2 petitions. In fact, this petition should be certified as urgent because the 2 petitions actually are cutting across, and it is common problems we are experiencing in our constituencies, Madam Speaker. The issue of TSA, it is so cruel, it is unjustified, and it is inhuman, actually, for somebody to work for so long and end up not being compensated for what he has done for those years, being given the right to retirement, Madam Speaker. I would like the committee to actually expeditiously deal with that matter so that justice can be given to the 2 who have been really treated unfairly. The other issue of alcohol by Gladys Boschole, our Deputy Speaker, Madam Speaker, I would like to support it. The issue is cutting across all the constituencies. It is a common problem, and we need to regulate alcohol abuse and alcohol use, Madam Speaker. The control of ethanol, the transportation, and all those matters, I fully, Madam Speaker, and with those few remarks, let the committee on petition deal with these matters expeditiously so that we can bring normalcy in our alcohol abuse fraternity. Otherwise, with those few remarks, I support.
Thank you. Honorable members, 1 minute on these comments. The Honorable Kitur.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I want to also join to support the petition by the Deputy Speaker, Boschole, because the Uasin Gishu County in itself is a city that has grown because it was an education tourist town where there are many young people in that city. And the manufacturing, the cottage industries that were manufacturing these products in Langas and Munyaka are quite a number of them. And it actually spilled to Nandi Hills. At some point, I had to mention this because the security apparatus used to even support those who were distributing these products to Nandi Hills. And at some point, that was cut off. So as much as this is being done, also the security apparatus must be brought to book because they participate in actually the distribution and allow these products to be distributed even to cities like Nandi County, where we've been affected. And many of my constituents, some of them have even gone blind. And expand this, not only talking about ethanol, but also even use of urea and many other things that are very hazardous to the lives of the people. I thank you very much, and I sincerely support that petition for the sake of our Kenyan people and my constituents.
Thank you. The Honorable Kathambi. Member for Njoro. What exactly is out of order? The member for...
Thank you very much.
Honorable Masara. Member for Suna West.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I can see that you have hit the intervention button, and I thought that you want to make a comment, and I was coming to you. Is there anything out of order?
Yes, I wanted to draw your attention that the Kisii woman representative was out of order. Instead of using the right channel to cross the bar, she decided to go back behind you. She talked to people this side and went behind you and go across to the other side. You know, she's a first timer. So I wanted her to know that for you to cross, you must go, bow, and then you cross over to the other side, Madam Speaker. That was the point of order I wanted to raise. Thank you.
Well, you know, member for the Honorable Masara, it is allowed to go behind. That is in order. What is not in order is crossing from the left to the right. So the member is very much in order. Unless you have an issue with the member for Kisii, she is completely in order. And I want to give a chance to the member for Kisii because you have been mentioned so that you can defend yourself. This is a critical time to say that any member is out of order because she is really in order.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Masara told me today you look smart. So instead of him just approaching me nicely, you know, I didn't respond. I told him I have my bill today. There will be questions and I need you to support. I left. Then he said, shh. I asked him, am I a hen? Am I a dog? How are you calling me? So he's just seeking attention, Madam Speaker. Let him be brave enough and come and approach me. I have no problem with him. But
thank you. Thank you very much, Member for Kisii, for defending yourself. The Honorable Masara, if you want to engage the member for Kisii, you need to be a gentleman and do it the right way. The way you are doing is completely out of order. Man up, do it the right way. Do you want to defend the Honorable Masara? You want to defend the Honorable Donya? Yes, you may proceed.
Madam Speaker, the Honorable Donya is my sister. And in our culture, Honorable Speaker, if you want to approach a woman in the Kisii culture, you would pass through their brothers and pay the dowry that is required. Honorable, what I am aware, Honorable Speaker, is that Masara may not be aware that we don't take, we don't just take small amounts of money. And I know he's a man of means. We want to invite him to Kisii. Give us 100 cows, give us 500 goats, and then you give us 500 goats, and you give us, you come in a chopper, and 10 what? 10 buses. Then we listen to you.
Thank you. Honorable members, that in the House, honorable members, that is called banter and canter. So members are